There's a version of you that still lives in a moment that's already gone. Maybe it's something someone said to you, something someone did, a decision you made at 22 that you're still paying for at 35, a door that closed, a person who left, a version of yourself you're not proud of. And here's the brutal truth nobody talks about. You can be completely free in your body, walking around, going to work, laughing at dinner, and still be a prisoner. Still locked inside something that happened years ago. Still replaying it. Still arguing with people who aren't even in the room anymore. The Stoics had a word for this kind of suffering. They called it self-inflicted. And before you get defensive, before you think that's cold or you don't know what I've been through, just stay with me. Because this isn't about blame. This is about power. Your power. The power you've been handing over to the past every single day without realizing it. Marcus Aurelius was the most powerful man in the known world. Emperor of Rome, armies at his command. And he still woke up every morning and wrote to himself, not to anyone else, just to himself. Reminders about how to not be dragged under by things outside his control. He lost children. He fought wars he didn't choose. He was surrounded by people who wanted to use him, flatter him, destroy him. And still he wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." He wasn't writing that from a place of ease. He was writing it from the trenches. So what does it actually mean to leave your past behind? Because I think most people have this idea completely wrong. They think it means forgetting, pretending it didn't happen, putting a smile on it, and moving forward like nothing occurred. That's not leaving the past behind. That's suppression. And suppression doesn't bury things. It buries them alive. Leaving the past behind means something much harder and much more specific. It means you stop letting what happened then make decisions for you now. Think about that for a second. Every time you avoid a new relationship because of an old one, that's the past making a decision. Every time you don't go after the opportunity because you failed the last time, that's the past sitting in the driver's seat. Every time you snap at someone who doesn't deserve it because someone else hurt you years ago, that is not you reacting. That is your history reacting. And there's a difference. Epictetus understood this better than almost anyone in history. And what makes his understanding remarkable is where it came from. He wasn't born into privilege. He was a slave, literally owned by another person. And yet from that position, from the absolute bottom of Roman society, he developed a philosophy of radical internal freedom that people still read 2,000 years later. His core teaching was devastatingly simple. There are things within our control and things that are not. The past is not within your control. It never will be. But your relationship to the past, that is entirely yours. Here's what that looks like in practice. When the memory comes, and it will come, it always does. Most people do one of two things. They either fight it, push it away, tell themselves, "Stop thinking about that," which is like telling someone not to think about a pink elephant. Or they lean into it, replay it, marinate in it, build an entire story around it where they were the victim and someone else was the villain. And they live inside that story like it's their home. The Stoic path is neither of those. The Stoic path is observation without immersion. You see the thought, you acknowledge what happened. You don't pretend it wasn't real or that it didn't hurt. But you also don't climb inside it and redecorate. You say, "This happened. It is over. It cannot be changed. What can I do right now, today, with what I have?" That pivot from "what happened to me" to "what can I do?" that is the whole game. But I want to be honest with you because this content always glosses over the hardest part. And the hardest part is grief. Sometimes you don't just need a new perspective. Sometimes you need to actually grieve what you lost. The relationship that ended. The years you spent in the wrong direction. The person you were before something broke you. Grief is not weakness. Grief is the process by which you actually metabolize loss instead of carrying it frozen inside you forever. The Stoics weren't emotionless robots. That's the biggest misconception. Seneca wrote letters soaked in feeling. Marcus Aurelius grieved openly. The point was never to feel nothing. The point was to feel it fully and then return to the present. Feel it and release it. Not feel it and become it. There is a version of the past that teaches you, and there is a version of the past that owns you. One of them makes you wiser, more compassionate, more resilient. The other one keeps you small, keeps you angry, keeps you rehearsing conversations that are never going to happen with people who may not even remember what they did. You deserve better than that. Not because your past wasn't painful. Maybe it was incredibly painful. But because you are not your past. You are what you decide to do next. So here is what moving on actually looks like. Not as a concept, as a practice. It means you wake up tomorrow and instead of the first thought being that thing, you redirect to, what do I want to build today? Not every day will go that way. Some days the past will hit you like a wave and knock you sideways. That's allowed. That's human. But you get back up and you redirect again every single time. It means you stop telling the story. Not because the story isn't true, it might be completely true, but because every time you tell it, you are reinforcing the neural pathway that keeps you stuck. You are feeding the past present tense energy, and the past doesn't deserve your present tense energy. It means you take one action today, just one, that the person who is free from your past would take. Apply for the thing. Send the message. Start the habit. Do the one thing you've been avoiding because somewhere underneath it, you're still letting an old wound make your choices. Marcus Aurelius wrote something that I think about more than almost anything else from ancient philosophy. He said, "Confine yourself to the present." 3 words. Confine yourself to the present. Not the past, which cannot be changed. Not the future, which cannot be controlled. The present, which is the only place where your life is actually happening. Your past made you. It shaped you. Some of it hardened you in ways that will serve you for the rest of your life. But it does not have to run you. You are not that story anymore. You are what you do now. And now is always, always enough to begin.